When you think of working on a ranch, what comes to mind? Maybe you think of old westerns where rough and ready ranch hands work for $1 a week, 3 meals a day, and a hard mattress in the bunkhouse. That may be an accurate description of the ranch hands of 100 years ago. But today, ranching offers career training and opportunities that will, no doubt, surprise you. If you think you'd enjoy a career that combines teamwork with personal responsibility, and you think you'd like to work outdoors, you should consider becoming a ranch hand. Ranching is an occupation that's available only in certain parts of the country, in places where there's plenty of open land, places like LaGrange, Wyoming. Jeff is a ranch hand on this 10,000-acre spread, Ward Hay and Cattle.
The neat thing about ranching is that you do a little bit of everything. I mean, from book work or from sitting behind desk talking on the phone to fixing fence to working on your pickups and maintaining corrals, driving tractors.
Ward Hay and Cattle offers this variety because it is actually several businesses in one. The daily operations here include growing crops, transporting crops and livestock, running a greenhouse, and raising cattle. The focus of the ranch hand's job changes from day to day and from season to season.
In the winter, it's a lot more demanding on physical labor, depending on how much snow you have. When it's really cold and there's a lot of snow, it's a real job to keep water open. When a big blizzard hits, it's pretty demanding on just keeping the cows healthy. You pretty much just feed the cows all day.
Jeff's main responsibility is caring for the cattle. Ward Hay and Cattle has 2 cattle operations, commercial and registered. Commercial cattle are used for meat and dairy products. Registered cattle are bred to maintain certain types of cattle, those with a good, solid weight, height, and length.
I have about 55 head of registered cows, and then I also run about 35 head of commercial cows. When breeding registered cattle, you want to try to take the very best of 2 worlds, take the best bull and the best cow for the ideal package. When I'm merchandising my bulls, I want to be able to tell the commercial rancher that this bull is in the top 5% of weaning weight. This bull's females have been producing extreme amount of milk. In the registered business, you have to keep extensive records on all the pedigrees of the whole family tree.
In a way, Jeff must keep a lot of elements in careful balance. He must help manage the animals, the cost to operate the ranch, and also manage the land.
In Wyoming, you don't want a cow that's weighing between 1,500 and 1,800 pounds because it takes so much to feed her. So we want to have medium-sized cows that raise big calves just for cost and for land management.
To the untrained eye, all cattle might look alike. But to ranch hands like Jeff, each registered calf is a special project, one that requires ongoing care and maintenance and commitment.
Raising purebred cattle takes a lot more book work and time because you have to weigh the calves when they're born, and you have to vaccinate them and put identification tags in their ears. And then when they're a year old, you have to go back and weigh them to see how much they gained throughout the year.
In addition, ranch hands often deliver or assist with the birthing of calves. To perform all these tasks, Jeff must be able to move quickly from one area of the ranch to another. At Ward Hay and Cattle, the ability to ride horseback just goes with the territory.
There's a lot of outfits that use motorcycles and four-wheelers. Around here, we find it to be easier to use horses. They're handier to get around in the pastures and stuff like that. They normally don't break down, and it's easier to handle animals with animals.
But handling large animals is only one of Jeff's responsibilities. Ward Hay and Cattle also grows hay, alfalfa, sugar beets, and corn. That's not always an easy job, since the land in this part of the country doesn't get much rainfall. In the summer months, ranch hands spend a lot of their time irrigating or routing water to areas that need it. This extra water is vital to getting the most crop out of each field.
We only get 14 inches of rain per year. When we irrigate, it helps on tons per the acre or how much you harvest off the acre. We do irrigations called pivot sprinklers, and they're just a big pipeline on wheels, and it just goes around and around and around. It's just like watering your lawn, except it's over 235 acres at once.
Ranching is a job that takes a special kind of person. Someone who's comfortable working with animals. Someone who is equally happy working independently or as part of a team. And maybe, most importantly, someone who enjoys physical labor and wide open spaces.
I like getting up in the mornings or late in the evenings and just listening to the quiet. There's a lot of people that's never heard the quiet. It's kind of a neat deal sometimes.
If it sounds relaxing, don't be fooled. Ranching is hard work. But if riding the range appeals to you, it's a career that offers plenty of opportunity. Maybe you thought the term entrepreneur applied only to city people in office buildings. But many ranch hands share in the entrepreneurial goal of starting their own business. They save enough money to buy cattle, equipment, or land, and then they start their own ranch. Jeff is using his experience working with registered cattle to move closer to his long-term goal.
I have a goal of having 500 registered cows within the next 15 years. They always said keep your goals high, but I think that it's looking like it's right in perspective.
Other ranch hands move up to become ranch foremen. Bill Rostad is the foreman of Ward Hay and Cattle. He's in charge of the overall management of the ranch.
A foreman, you just need to oversee the job, make sure that everything is covered, no matter if you're fencing or feeding cattle or whatever. If you're a foreman, it's up to you, to look for the fine points, I guess. Make sure, like, the crew's got what they need, that the cattle are healthy and that they're getting fed enough.
Bill's duties also include maintaining the equipment and vehicles, as well as hiring and training the ranch hands. Each day finds him all over the ranch, inspecting the work, instructing the hands.
After you listen and get instruction or see what somebody's doing, jump in there and try to help. Do what you can. And if it is your first time, people don't expect you to be perfect. Nobody does. It's something to be learned. You learn how to do it. There's fundamentals just like there is to anything else.
Good job.
For those willing to learn the fundamentals, Bill provides training in building dams and fences, delivering calves, and testing and monitoring the health of the cattle. He also does a fair amount of office work, including booking or scheduling public rodeo events sponsored by Ward Hay and Cattle.
Rodeo's a sport, and entertainment, it's something that I think goes along with ranching. It has since ranching began. And being practical on a ranch, a lot of times people raise their own horses and break their own colts.
Rodeos are like job fairs, a good way to get people interested in riding and training horses and roping cattle. And those are important skills out on the range.
Becoming a ranch hand, you just need to know a lot of different things. And if you're a young person without experience, it's hard to know all those things. But if you're willing to listen and willing to work at it, people are willing to work with you.
Not everyone grows up in a ranching community. But no matter where your hometown may be, there's plenty you can do to find out more about a career in this field.
You can join your FFA chapter in your high schools, Future Farmers of America, and your 4-H clubs. Go work for the Forest Service. I mean, there's endless amounts of things that you can do to go and get started.
You might also be interested in other careers, such as an animal caretaker on a farm. Or you might like to get your start as a dog groomer or a veterinary assistant, working in a farm community or in a city. Courses in business, biology, and communications will help you prepare for all of these career opportunities.
You learn how to drive machinery, you can go work construction, and you can be a truck driver. You have some carpentry skills, you can go build houses. You have the knowledge and how to take care of animals. You can go work at a zoo. You could go be a game warden for a wildlife reserve.
So next time you think about ranching, imagine open land spreading out as far as your eyes can see. Imagine galloping over pasture to round up a stray calf. And imagine working as a part of a special community, learning skills that will really take you places. But no matter what career you eventually choose, now is the time to start looking. Let your interests be your guide and keep your eyes open.